Service blueprints connect the experience of a customer, your customer journey, the sequence of steps, with internal processes. Which team, which department, which system is performing which process to actually create this experience? Who is in charge of these processes? Where can they fail? And so on. So the original structure of a service blueprint looks like this. You have the customer actions, or how we prefer to call it, the journey steps. On top, you have a lane for service evidences. So whatever you use to prove that a service is happening, nowadays often used for like confirmation screens or messages you send and so on. Then we have a set of divider lanes, which give the structure to a traditional service blueprint. The line of interaction, and below the front stage actions. Here you list which teams or departments are responsible for which processes connected to these steps. So in Smaply, this is a simple grid lane, this is a divider lane, and you add some text cards in there. And just as a tip, you can adjust the length of this process just by drag and dropping. And of course, you can add a link to connect it to your business process modeling software. Now, below the so-called line of visibility, you have backstage actions. So you see what are the teams or systems who are included in this experience, but the customer never will see them or get in touch with them. So they are behind the line of visibility, behind the curtain, so to say. There's another divider lane called the line of internal interaction, and these are support processes, so third parties like the ID verification vendor, and you can add those processes here. I prefer, even in a service blueprint, not to follow the exact traditional layout, but I like to add journey stages to it. I like to add step descriptions, and then you can use the views to select maybe the traditional view as I explain it, or you can focus on specific parts, like only focus on the front stage actions, whoever is the audience you're presenting to. Now, in reality, we are not following this service blueprint structure from 1984. It's really too rigid. In reality, what we're doing is for any journey that you're doing, so it's the same journey. Now we added some elements you usually work with, like an emotional journey, maybe adding pain points to it, and analytics to it, metrics and so on. And then you simply use elements of this service blueprint, like front stage actions or backstage actions, as a specific lane in your journey. As a tip, I recommend to create a template with basically your set of teams and systems that you typically use in your organization. And then you can actually copy this lane into any existing journey map. Much simpler to follow the same structure of a service blueprint or elements of a service blueprint in your journeys. Have fun exploring internal processes within your journey maps with service blueprints, or at least elements of that.